Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this special interview as part of our Baltimore's Child Virtual Summer Camps and Activities Fair. I'm Michael Vyskocil, the managing editor for Baltimore's Child magazine, and I'm pleased to be joined this afternoon by Liz Heilbronner. She is the summer camp director for Camp Horizons, which is located in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And Camp Horizons is actually one of the many camps that will actually be participating in our virtual summer camps and activities fair coming up February 26th to the 28th, which is on our website, baltimoreschild.com/campfair 2021. And really, the camp fair is designed to really give parents and caregivers like you the opportunity to learn about some summer camps in the Baltimore area and beyond, and preview what the camp experience will be like this summer. And we're just pleased to be able to bring you Camp Horizons. We'll have Liz talk a little bit about the programs that her camp offers. But I want to tell you a little bit about just Camp Horizons in case you're not familiar with it. They are actually located in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains in Virginia. They are a co-ed sleepaway camp serving campers ages 6 to 16. They are going almost close to 40 years of serving campers from across the United States and the world, providing a range of different activities, including aquatics and equestrian, outdoor activities. So I want to kind of bring Liz here into our conversation and kind of tell us a little bit more about the camp experience for children at Camp Horizons.
Yeah, of course. So, like you said, we've been going for almost 40 summers. And our goal when we created was just to have a place for kids to feel welcome and have fun and try new things. And I think we do a really good job of that. And I think a lot of summer camps do. Some of the highlights, like you mentioned, aquatics, equestrian, outdoors. We also have STEM activities, performing and visual arts, and sports. And one of the great things is all of our campers get to choose their activities based off of what they're interested in. And so it's a great opportunity to try new things or to say, hey, I absolutely love archery. I would like to take it at camp. And so it's a great opportunity for kids to just kind of branch out and learn about different activities that they might not get to do at home.
Yeah, that's excellent. And talking about like those activities, I know kids have their favorites. What were some of the activities kids love the most?
I would say that farm is by far our most popular activity. We have a great farm manager named Bobby who has over 60 years of dairy farm experience. And he brought that to camp a couple years ago. And so we have pigs, chickens, goats, cows, alpacas, geese. It's pretty crazy. We also will have baby lambs and baby sheep during the summer. And so it's a really fun class where you get to just meet some animals that you might not get to see at home. So farm is definitely our most popular. I mentioned earlier, archery is really popular as well. A lot of times it's those activities that you might not get to do when you're at home. So the rock wall or horseback riding, they're all really fun. And as we're outdoors based, it's just a great opportunity for kids to say, "Ooh, this sounds interesting. I think I'll try that this week."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the questions parents always have is, how do I choose the right camp for my child? How do I find a camp that will interest my child? What do parents say about Camp Horizons? Why do they continue to bring their children to the camp experience? What do they like the most about what you have to offer?
I think the two biggest things are the choices that their kids get and then the skills that they learn when they come back home. In our surveys that we've been doing in the last couple of years, we asked the parents to identify one or two changes that they've noticed in their kids. And the biggest one is always independence. Their camper now knows how to be away from home for a week or 2 weeks, or maybe even more. They now know how to make their bed every morning and keep a cabin clean. And whether they're 6 years old or 16 years old, this is a great opportunity for when they leave home after high school. And so it's really awesome to hear, my camper learned so much independence going to this camp. And now they're okay with doing different activities that they might have never done before.
Yeah, and that's great. And speaking of camp, obviously a lot of people are wondering, in terms of this year, the COVID-19 pandemic. Tell me a little bit about how your camp handled that last year. How did you cope with some of the requirements and the guidelines that were necessary to put in place for social distancing. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did?
For sure. So unfortunately, Virginia was actually not permitted to run overnight camps last year. And so we weren't able to hold our traditional programming, but we did instead offer a family camp, which ran for 6 weeks and offered 3 different lengths of stay. And so we basically created a program around looking like we were a campsite. So families would come in, they would have their own individual cabin, their own table at meals. And then each morning we would go around and sign them up for activities, making sure that we were having, no more than 12 people in each activity to make sure that they were properly spaced out. So going into this summer, we're taking what we did at family camp last year, what the Virginia Department of Health, the ACA, and the CDC recommend, and we're looking at different ways to implement moving all of our activities to being outdoors or in well-ventilated areas. We have installed more hand sanitizing stations than I can even count, and looking at different policies of, an in and out type policy where as I go in someplace, I sanitize my hands, and as soon as I leave, I'm sanitizing them as well. So while it was unfortunate that we couldn't run our traditional programming last summer, we did create a whole plan about how we were going to do it and how to run in pods and space everything out. So I'm really confident going into this summer with what we had created for last summer.
Yeah, that's true. Are there any different activities, the way you're conducting the activities, or any new offerings that will be in place this summer?
Yeah, so we're looking at just moving all of the activities that once were inside outdoors. So, our performing arts and visual arts classes are really the main ones that would normally be inside. And so it's as simple as throwing up a pop-up tent, and now you're doing your sketching and painting class outdoors as opposed to inside the arts and crafts cabin. So it's small things like that, or, maybe main campfire, which we usually pack in real tight and get real close and friendly. Maybe our opening and closing campfires are now at the soccer field where we can be spread out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we don't have to cancel any of our traditional activities. We can still have a talent show. We can still have those campfires. They just might be at a different location than our returning campers are used to.
Right. Well, Liz, you mentioned something interesting. You were talking about how parents comment on just, their children coming back from camp and what that experience gives their child. What would you say are like the benefits of summer camp for children in your perspective?
There are countless benefits. I think that every kid should have the chance to go to a summer camp. Like I mentioned, it's a stepping stool for where they go after high school. They've now lived in a cabin with 8 to 10 other kids. They've shared meals with them. They've shared cabin responsibilities, but they've also had a little bit of that independence that they might not have at home. And I think summer camps do a great job of giving kids a place to take safe risks. And we use that phrase a lot with our staff is we want kids to know that they can try things and they can be a little risky as long as they're doing it safely. And we create that environment for them to take those safe risks.
Yeah, absolutely. And now what's interesting is you were telling me too, you actually attended summer camp as a child and actually was right at Camp Horizons, which is really exciting. So what were some of the highlights of your summer camp experience? Like, what did you take away from it? And how do you think going to summer camp as a child helped shape you into the person you are today?
It led me to this career. So I started at Camp Horizons when I was 7 years old, and it was a fantastic experience. We hire staff from all over the world. And for me, at 7 years old, I had a counselor from the Czech Republic. And I was like, I don't even know where this is. And it was just remarkable to be able to meet people from different countries. And, I'm from a small town in Virginia, and getting to meet people from different states even was just a great experience. And it absolutely shaped me to who I want to be. When I was in college, I was trying to figure out, am I interested in pursuing what I'm majoring in? And my mom one day was like, you love summer camp and you love being a summer camp counselor. Have you ever thought about getting a master's in it? And so I ended up getting my master's degree in counseling education.
Yeah.
And from the minute that I stepped into that program, I knew that I wanted to then be able to come back to summer camps and give kids the experience that I had.
Yeah. It's interesting we talk about this experience being a sleepaway camp. And, there may be some parents out there who maybe allowing their child to attend a sleepaway camp for the first time, do you have any tips or suggestions for parents to help, their children make that transition from home to camp?
Definitely. First of all, do research and find a camp that both you and your camper love, because that's going to be the most important. You want to give them a camp that has activities that they're interested in, or a schedule that fits what their needs are. And then take an opportunity to meet the director or take a visit. We're really lucky. We are doing virtual open houses this spring. And it's as simple as signing up for a Zoom time where you get to meet with me and I show you some pictures about camp. And then we're also going to start doing some virtual or some in-person open houses in the next couple months that are completely outdoors. And it's just a great way to see the facilities. So no matter what camp you choose, do some research and make sure that they've got programs that you and your camper like. And then familiarize yourself with the staff and their philosophy and the facilities.
Yeah. On our website, we recently published an article that talked about the benefits of camp for teenagers. That demographic that kind of hits that upper end of the campers that you serve. Why do you think summer camp is so important, even for teenagers? Because we typically think, well, shouldn't they be working? Shouldn't they be lifeguarding at the pool? Why should teens consider going to summer camp? What benefits can they take away from it?
I think, especially in those teenage years, that's when those friendships that will last a lifetime can really be formed. And it's a chance for them, they come to camp and they like the activities, but for them, it's really that cabin setting. It's being able to spend time with 8 or 9 other kids your age and just learning about them. And I think it's called our Explore program here is our 12 to 16-year-olds. And that's actually usually our biggest program because those kids keep coming to camp because they want to get that connection and that experience. So I don't think anyone is ever too old to come to summer camp.
That's excellent to hear. It's excellent to hear. Well, tell me a little bit too, the location where you're at, the camp is located. For people who may not be familiar with the area, can you describe like the environment and the setting that it's in?
Camp is beautiful. So we are, like you said, in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is right around James Madison University and the Massanutten Ski Resort. And so we're lucky. We sit right in the valley, and one edge of property is the Massanutten Mountain Range. And so that's a really awesome place. We sit on 300 acres and have a pool and a lake and beautiful sunsets and beautiful views. And it's a fantastic facility. And I mentioned the open houses. We have virtual open houses on our website where you can see the property. But we're really lucky. We sit in a fantastic part of Virginia.
That's wonderful to hear. And, for parents in the Baltimore area who may be looking for an opportunity to, get your child exposed to a setting that's outside the region, you may want to consider Camp Horizons and all the programming and activities that they certainly offer. Well, Liz, I want to thank you so much for joining me this afternoon to talk a little bit more about your summer camp programs. And as I mentioned, Camp Horizons is just one of several camps that will be participating in our virtual summer camps and activities fair that's coming up February 26th through the 28th. To register, all you need to do is go to our website, baltimoreschild.com/campfair2021, and you can participate in this camp fair, learn a little bit more about the different camps in the area and beyond that are offering different types of activities and programs. We'll have an online scavenger hunt and an opportunity for parents to enter to win a $250 camp scholarship for their child, which I think is a wonderful opportunity for really all parents out there. And if you are looking for some more details, again, all of those are online on our website, baltimoreschild.com/campfair2021. Well, Liz, thank you again for joining me this afternoon.
Michael,
and thank all of you, and we look forward to seeing you at our camp fair.